Welcome to Baseball This Week, a Spotlight production. And here's your host, Jim Stark.
Well, good evening. Welcome to another edition of our Baseball This Week. I'm Jim Stark, along with my co-host, Boston Rob Bennett. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you.
Yeah, if you recovered from watching the Tigers sort of drop the big bomb today down at Comerica Park.
I don't know if bomb's the right word for it, right?
Well, 8-0, yeah, right. 8-0 loss on a team they really dominated the night before with a 4-0 win. We've had Eduardo Rodriguez going, but I will tell you this: if you looked at the lineup today, it was a pretty thin lineup.
Yeah, it was a little odd not to see a couple of guys, but maybe it was one of those rest days. I know that sounds weird, especially the way the Tigers have been playing overall. But I'd like to get your take on some easy for me to say, some of the lineup changes that have been going on.
Well, I know AJ Hinch he does like to change it up, especially in a day game after a night game. But not having Riley Green in the lineup today, I didn't get. He's their hottest hitter right now. Home game against. Now, they have a left-hander going, Rich Hill, who's kind of a funky left-hander. He throws the ball with that big curveball and everything. But still, I don't think you bench. Riley Green is only 23 years old. 20. How much rest does he need?
It's a long season.
I get that. I get it. But you know what? And then to have you had Jonathan Scope and Miguel Cabrera in the 6 and 7 slots.
Well,
right. So
regardless of Riley Green was in the lineup or not, one hit is one hit.
No, I get that.
So
I understand, but it's just
one of those things that happened, and now we look towards a series with a Washington Nationals team that also has struggled this year.
Well, you're going to talk about what's coming up.
That's right. There's a little tease for you.
At the end of the show, we're going to talk about
tease.
But I do want to talk about the week that was, and certainly today and yesterday with Pittsburgh, a team that's come out kind of surprising a lot of teams and a lot of people that follow the sport with their opening. Now, they have not played well in the last 2 weeks. They've lost a lot of their momentum they gained, but today they got some decent young players without a doubt. Andrew McCutchen is sort of having
I was going to say comeback player of the year so far.
Well,
Andrew
so
McCutchen,
far.
You got to throw his name out there.
He's got a long way to go, but he certainly has proven to be not just yesterday's news. He didn't just come back for. He's sort of rewriting the script a little bit of Albert Pujols last year. He's not going to go out with a whimper. He wants to go out with a little bit of a bang.
That's a former MVP candidate.
Oh yeah, good player too.
Really good player. Great defensive player.
But they've got some they got some good names. Brian Reynolds has 5 home runs, 23 RBI. So it's an up and coming team. But after the Tigers dominated them so well last night 4-0. You thought with Miguel,
they just flipped the switch, right?
With Eduardo Rodriguez going today, who's been so dominant.
Yeah,
I felt good about their chances, but Rodriguez, he missed.
How far did you think he was going to go with this hot streak?
Well,
and it wasn't
one more game is good with me. but he the umpire was squeezing him early. He seemed like he got a little frustrated
off the air.
And he lost a little bit. And again, he was followed up by Tyler. Alexander, and he didn't pitch very well. He gave up a bunch of runs, so it was not a good day.
And the offense, let's go back to that one hit, obviously struggling. So maybe there was some extra pressure on themselves and the pitching staff to keep them in the game, and that's always, like to see a lot more than just what ended up being a one-hit day for the Detroit Tigers. So, overall, you just take it. You just take it, and, still hovering around 500. And they played well against a 500 Seattle Mariners team, right? You got to be happy with what you saw at some points in that series. So
they finished 3-4 for the week. They won the last game in Cleveland, which was a nice way to leave. The 5-0 shutout.
Right.
They came home. They lost a couple tough games with Seattle, 9-2, and then 5-0. But they beat them in the closer on Sunday. They were off on Monday, and then they took Pittsburgh on Tuesday, and then they lost today. So not a bad week.
So this is what a 500 team does, right?
That's right.
This is what we see in 500 teams. Not long winning streaks, not long losing streaks. It's just, I guess it just depends on the day. Right?
Well,
So-
there's a reason why they're 500 team, right?
Yeah,
We get that, But so we look at the standings today with the Tigers. They're 19-22. They are in a tie for second place with the Guardians with that loss. They're both 4 games behind the Twins. And again, not a lost week, but I think you would have liked a little bit. Maybe you would like to go on 4-3 against those two teams. That I would have considered
Absolutely.
that a successful week. But again, Seattle, they were kind of a buzzsaw. So 3-4 for the week. I'm not going to throw it out completely.
No.
But I think the big thing is we saw Javi Baez and Riley Green continue to be the offensive leaders. Riley Green's probably the hottest hitter of the team right now, which, again, is why I was disappointed he didn't play today. And Zach McKinstry, I think, continues to surprise in a positive way with his hitting.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it comes down to. And we've seen now these averages. If people really take a look at that, I think batting average is one of the most overhyped, stats in baseball when you look at it. But we'll get to that in another day. We'll talk about that in another conversation.
Yeah,
but
it's still one of the tried and true factors that we use to look at a team's success. And you're right. Some good teams can have a lower batting average. The Tigers in '84 did not have a very good batting average as a team.
Correct.
Or nor did the '68 Tigers.
Correct.
But it is a factor we use and we're very familiar with it. And I know there's a lot better metrics now that they use that are a lot more precise. I haven't learned them all yet, to be honest with you, Rob.
Yeah, I mean,
right? But again, the big thing, though, is at the 41-game mark, they passed the 40-game mark.
This is what we were talking about
Well,
last episode, right?
Sparky Anderson
rule.
Sparky Anderson always said, give me 40 games, and I'll tell you about this team. So, Rob, they played 41 games. Their record is 19-22, 3 games under. Now, if you look at it from the beginning of the year, I probably would have taken this record. But, we were looking at a team that might have finished, 40 games under 500 we were looking at, right? So that –
well, this is the record that I think before the season started, right? This is what we expected. I mean, any logical Detroit Tigers, fan would say, you know what? If they're hovering around 500 with this lineup and these, and with this roster, I'd be happy with it. Of course, they got off to that putrid start, right? And so now the word was I have been using these last 2 episodes. Are they overachieving? Well, are they overachieving, or is this what we expected this last month and a half that we thought the Tigers could be?
Right.
So that's the question that I'm throwing out to you.
Well,
I mean, it's around 500 before the start of the season. I think that's an expectation with the roster that people originally thought, hey, you know what? If they can hover around a couple games under 500, I'd be thrilled with that.
No, I think coming off the disappointment of last year, if they were a 500 team this year, I'd have taken it and gone home.
I mean, what are they? 3 games under?
3 games under at the 40 game mark.
This is.
But looking at the stats from this last week, the hitting stats, it's not hard to tell why they only went 3-4. Maybe if you look at these stats, we should be glad they went 3-4 because the only hitter really impressive was Riley Green, who hit .529. He had 9 hits for 17 at bats in the last 7 games. The next best hitter, get this, is Jonathan Scope, who went
that's your guy
2 for 6.
There you
right?
go. That's your guy.
Then you got Zach McKinstry, who went 3 for 10. Other than that, there's nobody hitting over 200 for the week. So you look at that way, Rob. It's probably they were lucky to get 3 wins. And again, we just look at the last few days. We look at the last week that was. But again, it's not been a robust week. It wasn't like they hit the cover off the ball.
And I don't think it's going to be like that, right? I mean, we're 40 games in. I don't think all of a sudden, they're going to start, bombing New York Yankee home runs. You know what I mean? It's just that's not the makeup of this team right now. As much as fans probably don't want to hear that, it's all about, and I've mentioned this in prior shows, it's all about the clutch hit. 2 men on, 1 out. Can you get that double? Can you get that RBI single? I'm thinking more small ball for this team. If that's a term that baseball, purists still use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's about the clutch hit. It's about the clutch strike. What do you say all the time, Jim, in these shows? Pound the strike zone.
Yep.
Get ahead of the hitters. Dominate, put your domination into the hitter.
Right.
So
Well,
these are the things that I'm looking at moving forward, as we get closer to the dog days of summer here moving forward.
Well, and the pitching did fare better than the hitting did in the last 7 days.
Sure.
Winning games, obviously, Lorenzen won a good start. His ERA, he went 6 innings over the week, and whip was 1.17, which is a good whip, right? Now, Rodriguez kind of got blown up today, which hurts his week that was. But in the bullpen side, you had some great production out of Alex Lang, Jason Foley.
Probably the most consistent thing of this team from the beginning of the season to now.
Yeah, I like Jason Foley and Alex Lang as the 8-9 combination. They're right now, to me, as good as anybody in the major leagues. So the pitching staff continues to carry the team. And today they lost because Rodriguez wasn't as sharp. So, again, we'll take good production. We'll take those late inning saves where they cut the pitchers and throw strikes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's an improvement. So,
sure. Yeah.
All right.
So what's the grade? Let's
well,
give him a grade.
I want to say a C. I'll give him a C for the week.
Well, for the week, I'm saying for the
for the quarter mark.
Yeah, for the.
I want to say a solid B.
Yeah, I was going to go with B, B minus.
Yeah,
B plus.
because they're overachieving what we thought for the first 40 games. Again, the pitching staff's been a pleasant surprise. Certainly, the starters Lorenzen and Rodriguez have been a surprise. The bullpen has been a real surprise, and the hitting hasn't. I mean, it's been a disappointment because nobody stepped up other than finally Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson start to make some noise along with Javi Baez. So
those are the guys that need to do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the names that need to do it on a consistent basis.
No, without a doubt.
Yep.
Those two young players have got to lead this team. So the week that was an average week. I give it a C. Not bad, not good. They come and we'll talk more about what they do next week as they come get back to play. Rob will have a little bit about that as we go on. But today we're going to change our format up a little bit, Rob. We've got all our regular features. We're going to have our prep player of the week. We're going to have our farm report. We're going to have our Tiger stat of the week. But this week for our and we have our 3 up and 3 down. But this week, instead of a guest, which we've had the first 2 weeks, I've got something I want to throw by you when we come back from our first break. We're going to talk about former Tigers, where they are now, how they're doing, and how you grade that transaction.
Just sticking the needle in our
listeners.
We're looking, right?
We talked a lot about this first segment about where they are right now. Rob, it's only fair to talk about how they got here.
That's correct.
Okay.
Well said.
So when we come back, we'll have that as our feature today. Rob and I will be talking about the former Tigers and a little bit about how they were transferred out, whether it was via trade, free agency, and we'll talk about where these guys are and how they could be helping the Tigers a little bit. And then in the last segment, we'll talk about the week coming up. We have all our features coming up for this week, as we do every week, and this week in baseball this week. I'm Jim Stark, along with Boston Rob Bennett. We'll come back with more right here on Baseball This Week, heard on the Spotlight Media Network.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
So, it's been a while since you've had your jewelry cleaned and inspected, right? Where will you go and who will you trust with your most valuable and treasured heirlooms? At Meadowar Jewelers' 4 locations in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage, jewelry isn't just our job, it's our passion. Each and every piece entrusted in our care is thoroughly inspected by our trained staff against damage or normal wear. And we offer you, our customer, the highest level of quality on repairs and custom designs. Whether it's worn out prongs, channels, or shanks, it's all handled with incredible care. Meadowar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage want to help you preserve your memories and offer you options on creating new ones. Come in today for the cleaning and inspection of your jewelry. We continue to work hard every day to earn your confidence and trust.
Time for a career change? Looking to make a difference? Dean Transportation is looking for compassionate people to join our dedicated team of school bus professionals. Dean Transportation has immediate openings and offers paid training to obtain a commercial driver's license. With increased starting pay, benefit packages, flexible scheduling with weekday hours, and more, Dean Transportation may be the career choice for you. No experience needed. Apply now and train all summer. Head to deanjobs.com.
April's full of adventure and winning at Firekeepers. It's the Get Out and Go RV giveaway on Saturdays, April 15th and 29th. 2 huge drawing days, $300,000 in prizes, including a fully loaded motor coach and more. The first big drawings are on Saturday, April 15th. You could win a pop-up camper, a deluxe travel trailer, or thousands in Red Hot credits to spin and win some more. On April 29th, you can win a share of $55,000 in Red Hot credits, a pop-up camper, a travel trailer, or the grand prize, a motor coach RV. It's the $300,000 Get Out and Go RV giveaway on Saturdays, April 15th and 29th. The best giveaways, the biggest guaranteed prizes, only at Firekeepers. Get your Vegas on at Firekeepers Casino Hotel, I-94 to exit 104 in Battle Creek. Management reserves all rights.
Welcome back to Baseball This Week, heard on the Spotlight Media Network. I'm Jim Stark, along with my co-host, Boston Rob Bennett. We're here every Wednesday to talk baseball from all around the area. We're going to talk, obviously, Tigers as we go along. We'll look at the Lugnuts in coming weeks. We're going to talk about the West Michigan Whitecaps. We had a great talk last week with Jake Boss at Michigan State about what happened with them as the season winds down.
Have a big end of the season series, which we'll talk about later when we preview what's coming up. But a big series coming up at home to close out the regular season for the Michigan State Spartans. And we'll also throw in some Wolverines. What the Wolverines baseball team's doing as well to end the season.
And I think next week, Rob, we're going to talk about a big prep baseball tournament coming up, right?
Well, it is, of course. You're talking about Dean Shippey, Capital Classic.
The Capital Classic.
The brackets are out, and that'll start next week. So looking forward to that. Always a great time. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the 61st annual Dean Shippey next Diamond Classic or Capital Classic.
Now, what day does it start, Rob? You have it there?
The 22nd.
Okay.
So I don't have a calendar right in front of me, but
that's going to be it'll be on. That's Tuesday. I want to say, right? So by next Wednesday, we'll have the
absolutely.
We'll hope to have it runs all week through the weekend.
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So maybe next week we'll try to have somebody on to talk about how it's gone by Wednesday.
No, maybe we will.
We will.
This is the attitude.
I like
Come
that,
on.
Rob. I like that, Rob.
Yeah.
But we'll talk, and as long as we're on the preps,
we got an athlete of the week.
We do, absolutely. Hang on. It's going to be this week. It's going to be a junior from Fowler High School, the Fowler Eagles. They're off to a 17-5 start. They're ranked number 6 in Division 4 here in their division in the state of Michigan. But Evan Curtis, who is a hitter, big slugger for the Fowler Eagles, and he went Fowler went 3-1 last week. But he had a big 3-1 home run against Pewamo, Westphalia.
Okay.
And in the 8 games, Curtis hit .526 with 7 home runs and 18 RBIs. And if that's not enough, Rob, he also went 2-1 on the mound. So how about that for the junior from Fowler High School, Evan Curtis?
Otani's got nothing on this kid.
Pretty good prep star of the week.
Nice.
And as we said, we'll talk more about the prep stars of the area next week when we hone in on the classic, which we actually started on the 22nd.
Correct.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Before we get started on our feature this week, Rob, where we talk about some of the former Tigers, where they are.
I know. I'm waiting for this.
I know. I want to give my Tiger stat of the week.
All right.
Okay. Tiger stat. This stat, I think, is we talked about the quarter mark of the Tigers' records through 40 games, 41 games now. We talked about how well they could do. Guess what the odds of the Tigers making the playoffs are as of now?
As of 500.
They're
around 500 right now.
Now, okay.
The
The odds to make the playoffs this year.
I mean, you'd have to think in that horrible division they're in that their odds have actually gone up from the beginning of the season, right?
Okay. What do you think they are now, as of now?
I don't know. I'm horrible with numbers, and here I am on a baseball show.
Let me tell you. Well, first, let me tell you, the World Series, it's less than 1%.
Sure.
Less than 1%.
Sure.
Okay? But to make the playoffs, right now they stand at 8.3%. So less than 10% odds.
And I still think that would have gone up from the beginning
of
the season.
I'm sure it has. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so it's less than 10%, so it's still just
so you're saying there's a chance.
You're
telling me there's a chance.
According to smarter people than me, right now the Tigers' playoff odds are 8.3%. So don't burn all your playoff money. Don't blow it at the casino. Don't hang on a little bit for playoff tickets. At least 8.3% of it. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Before we talk about, I'm going to leave you hanging. Let's go to our farm report. Okay.
Sure.
Our farm report.
Sure.
All right. Because it's exciting this week, I think, because we're still waiting for the Florida teams to really get started as they get started more into June as the college players. But on the Erie Seawolves front, okay, the name this week I want to bring up is a name we've talked about before, and that is Colt Keith.
Yeah, you're a big fan of this gentleman.
Well, he's 6'2", 220.
Yeah.
Right now, he looks to be as good as any Tiger prospect in the system. That's still in the minor leagues. There's nobody much better. I don't have the number for you. I could probably get it for you, but I think he's in the top 10 for sure. But he's helped us.
In all of minor league baseball in top 10, or
no, the Tigers prospects.
Just the Tigers prospects.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure if he's entered the top 100 or not.
Okay.
With the all together prospects, but I will tell you this though. Hang on, I want to make sure I get this right.
Well, this is one of the things that maybe not a lot of fans, casual fans, look at is the farm system and what Scott Harris has to do.
Well,
to rebuild, because that's the lifeblood of baseball, right? Your farm system.
Oh.
That's really and I'm going to put Detroit as a small market team right now. Would you agree?
Well,
they're not going to spend. And they can't spend as much as the LAs and the New Yorks and the Bostons and
Well, but right now they're underspending for where they should be, to say the least.
Right, but again, but if you build a consistent contender, unless you're the Yankees, I get it, but unless you have that payroll of the Dodgers and the Yankees, which 95% of the teams in Major League Baseball do not have. How do you think Tampa Bay's become so good? It's not because they're spending $250 million on one player.
They draft well,
right? And
they have a great farm system.
Yeah, and this is what Scott Harris has to do. Maybe the most important thing he has to do. When you look at it from top to bottom.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So again,
here's the news from Colt Keith. He's the number 87 overall prospect in baseball.
All right, so he's in that top
100, right? Today he did something no one's ever done before.
Ooh.
He hit for a 6-hit cycle. Okay, I'm make sure I get this right. Okay. He smacked 2 home runs in 4 innings. Then he completed the cycle in 7 innings. So it
was an extra inning.
No, in just 7 innings of the game. The first 7 innings of the game. That's how.
Is that the quickest that's ever?
It's a cycle.
Within 7 innings?
A cycle on a 6-hit night with 2 homers has never been accomplished by anybody.
But I'm saying all within 7 innings of a 9-inning game?
The Seawolves won 18-4 over Harrisburg, but he had a 6-for-6 night over 7 innings with 7 RBIs.
In 7 innings of a 9-inning game?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So
all right.
They might have only played 7. I think they played 7. They might have been part of a doubleheader. I don't have that here.
Oh, okay.
But needless to say, something no one's ever done on the season now. Okay.
Well, yeah, he's most certainly upped his stats with that performance.
He's hitting 300, 7 home runs. Let's see, his on base percentage is 3.60, just about. So,
what position does he play?
Third base.
Just call him up. That's
third base.
Call him up. That's it. Throw him up there.
We feel very excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's got 7 home runs, 28 RBIs.
Okay.
Striked out 35 in 130 at-bats, which is a lot, but power hitters, especially young power hitters, do. But his OPS is 9.912. So very impressive.
Yeah.
And again, he's helping not just himself, obviously, but he's helping his team as the Erie Seawolves are, I'll tell you what, as of now, they are in first place in the Eastern League Southwest Division with a 19-16 record.
How about it?
All right, so the team's off to a good start. They have an 8-2 record in their last 10 games.
Yep.
So Colt Keith has helped that offense.
All right.
Now, I will tell you what, before we close out the Erie Seawolves portion of our farm report, in the Eastern League Northeast Division, guess who's in first place? The Portland team, who is a farm team for who?
Boston Red Sox.
And they are 23-11. Better things to come for your Boston Red Sox, Rob.
I'm happy with what we're seeing from them so far. So,
okay,
but then again, it's
promising on the minor league front. But again, Colt Keith off to a great start, as are the Erie Seawolves. Now we turn our attention to the Toledo Mud Hens, the AAA team, right? And the leading hitter there continues to be Justin Henry Malloy, who was part of the trade in the offseason with the Atlanta Braves for no, I said that wrong. He was with I got my notes here. Hang on. I'll get it for you in a second. How's that?
all right. Well, again,
Yeah, but he is down in Toledo, hitting right now 321, 7 home runs, 25 RBIs.
And
his OPS is .971.
And this is AAA for
AAA.
fans that are listening.
Why is he not up yet? That would be my question.
And what position does he play?
Infield.
Okay,
Now that could be the question mark. Maybe he's plays everywhere, plays nowhere kind of a thing.
Correct. They're trying to figure out where to put him on a more consistent basis.
Yep. No,
But that's depth.
but he
right
came in the Joe Jimenez trade with Atlanta.
there. Wow.
Okay, that's where
that was a while.
that's
back.
where he came
Yeah,
from.
Yeah.
So great start for Justin Henry Malloy, and I'm wondering what's going to take to get him up, right? But if you look at the standings of the Toledo Mud Hens, they also are doing pretty well. They are
something
in
like
the
23-18 or something like that.
in the International League,
20-18 or something like that. They're hovering around.
West Division.
Yeah.
They are 4th. They are 21-18.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, so hovering around 500.
Now they in the last 10 games have gone 3-7, so exactly the opposite of what the Erie Seawolves have done. But still, even despite only going 3-7 in the last 10 games, they're still 21-18. So they're still, here's the surprising stat. Okay, at home they're only 9-11. On the road they're 12-7.
All right.
Now that's unusual.
Yeah, usually
for any
it's the
team A
opposite.
level.
Yeah, usually that's
So
the
if
opposite.
and that's a beautiful ball. Have you been to that ballpark down in Toledo?
I have not.
It's a great ballpark, great setting. So if they can do a little more down there at their home, take the home advantage away for themselves, anyways, that's an improvement. But 21-18 and Justin Henry Malloy off to a great start. Okay,
Promising
start. Yep.
Yes.
So that's our farm report for this week, Rob, and a little bit of help on the horizon. Malloy before Colt Keith, but I'm wondering for how soon Colt Keith gets promoted to Toledo.
Yeah, and it's always an interesting thing with minor leagues, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's always interchanging parts. It's always a revolving door. But again, it's just good to see that some of these players that are ranked in the top 100 again for the Tigers and are doing well. So. And I'm sure Tigers fans that are listening to this right now really don't want to hear about prospect. I mean, this is rebuild number 7, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
the 10th year of a 5-year rebuild?
Yeah. And you don't want to hear the future looks bright. But, again, the fact that some of these guys, because this is going to go into the next segment of former Tigers that are doing well elsewhere that Jim has promised me, let's see if we can keep these young players within the system.
And that is the point, right? Let's keep some of the wealth to ourselves, right?
Right.
All right. We'll get to that right now, Rob. Since
I want to preface this.
I teased you enough. I want to get to
let me preface this real quick for everybody. So Jim came in today. I have no knowledge of this list.
Right.
I have no knowledge. You're This is reaction Rob right here when you give me these names, because I have no idea who you're going to throw out at me.
Well, let me start with the those that were free agents. Okay, these are players the Tigers let go for nothing. Okay, gave up. Now I'm not counting Max Scherzer, who left as a free agent. Okay, these are players the Tigers released. Okay, said. We'll
so should I give you a? Since we're on Facebook Live and YouTube and all that, should I give a thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yes.
What I think? Okay.
Well, I'm going to ask you, how the Tigers did in that decision.
All right.
Yep.
And I'll give you a thumbs up or thumbs down. All
okay.
Right.
The first one, Jeimer Candelario, who they just let go last year to the Washington Nationals as a free agent. This year, Jeimer Candelario is hitting .234, 4 home runs, and 15 RBIs.
Well,
would you take him back right now?
Would I take him back with those stats?
Yep.
I mean, he'd be one of the home run leaders right now. But would I take him back? Probably not. I'm gonna go down.
So good decision by the Tigers. Let him go.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Okay. The other free agent I want to point to, a little harder, I think, to make a decision on, Rob, Nick Castellanos.
Long time.
He was cut. He was let go as a free agent.
Yeah.
I think is it 3 years ago now, or 4 years ago. But this year, he's hitting 5 home runs, 25 RBIs, 305 for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, you know what? And I believe on his way out the door, he kind of ripped Comerica Park.
He did.
And I'm going to say for Detroit Tigers fans, we don't need that.
Really?
No, I'm not going to take it.
With those kind of stats.
No. 5 home runs? Come on.
Well, 25 RBIs. Talk about leading a team in an area. The Tigers let him go.
Well, look at the lineup. I mean, I know Bryce Harper's been hurt, but look at the lineup he's around. You know what I mean? He should be doing better than.
Okay,
I think he should be doing better than that for what they're paying him over there in Philadelphia. And like I said, the way he left Detroit, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think we.
So they let him go in 19. He went to Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
Had 34 home runs, 100 RBIs in 2021.
Right.
Last year, he was hurt for a lot of the year.
Yeah.
This year, but again, so overall, Nick Castellanos, the Tigers made the right decision to let him go.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I disagree with you on that one, but I'm asking you, so it's your opinion that counts. Okay. Now,
well, we're in trouble.
It's your opinion, right? Now we're going to go to some of the trades.
All right.
Okay. And this is in no particular order. The order I wrote them down. How's that?
Yeah.
Gregory Soto.
Oh boy.
Traded after last year for Matt Vierling, Nick Matan, and Donnie Sands, who's at Toledo catcher. Okay.
Yeah.
This year, he and Cody Clemens went with Soto.
Right.
To Philadelphia. He's 1-2 with a 3.79 ERA and 1 save.
Oh, you got to give up.
Now, Cody Clemens.
Yeah.
Hitting .214, 3 home runs, and 6 RBIs.
I'm going to say good trade.
Good trade. They got Matt Vierling.
Yep.
Nick Matan, who
all young players.
Who are both. Well, Matan will come up later on in my 3 up, 3 down. Okay.
But so you're going to squash this whole.
No. Vierling is proved to be very.
No, I like the trade.
And Donnie Sands is still a prospect at catcher.
Thumbs up.
So a good trade, a plus trade. Okay. Now we go to one that was made in 2017 in July. J.D. Martinez.
Well,
was traded to the Phoenix, to the Arizona Diamondbacks for Jose King, Sergio Alcantara, and Duel Lugo. Only Alcantara is still in the system in the minors.
Well, do we even have to? I mean, do I even have to mention this whole deal?
Well, Martinez this year for the Dodgers, 241, 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. But if you look back to his Boston stats,
oh my goodness,
you
MVP.
know those.
Yeah, MVP candidate, World Series champion.
So huge mistake.
Huge mistake.
They'd want to take that one back.
I believe they would.
Okay.
In a heartbeat.
And I don't disagree. Again, and here's the alarming thing.
I understand he's older now, but
we look at the Soto trade. They got good value in return, right?
As of right now, yes.
Okay. For Martinez, they got almost no value.
Yeah, you mentioned one guy out of that.
If even still in the system.
If he's even in the system.
Yep. So that was a Al Avila special, right?
I gotta. There you go.
Going from one Alavila session to another.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I got to go to this one, right?
Yeah.
Justin Verlander.
Well,
okay.
We've talked about it.
Well,
but go ahead.
They got
go ahead.
Jake Rogers, Franklin Perez, Daz Cameron. And now this year, Justin Verlander obviously is off the slow start, coming back from but
this was when he was traded to Houston.
Yep.
Let's remember this now.
Absolutely.
Now.
He's won a Cy Young, World Series,
couple World Series.
Cemented his credentials for the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame career.
And
first
for
ballot.
that, they got a part-time catcher who's sitting under 200.
Yeah, I mean,
another
if I could give
colossal mistake.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how could you look at it any other way?
Would you rank this a bigger mistake than the J.D. Martinez deal?
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about a dominant pitcher going into his high 30s and 40s still. Now, I understand. This is the trade when it happened and when he went to Houston, not now, where he's struggling a little bit. I think age and injuries are starting to catch up to him now. But at the time when Houston was, offering the deal, if you got to keep Verlander,
and I was okay.
You got to keep Verlander,
right? But if they traded him, I was okay with it if you had to, but get value for him. And that's my disappointment. Okay, a few more other names now I want to go to,
and I dare say now it's a business, right? But I dare say Justin Verlander wasn't looking to leave.
No.
He wasn't looking to get out of Detroit.
He wasn't making a demand to get.
Yeah, he wasn't demanding a trade.
No, they gambled as they gambled J.D. Martinez, and they lost big.
Both, yeah.
They lost big. Okay, Isaac Paredes, who was traded last April, just before the start of the season, to Tampa Bay for Austin Meadows, who has been a total disappointment.
Yeah, unfortunately.
For a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
yes,
well,
for a lot of
unfortunately,
reasons.
and we want to stress, hope he gets
absolutely.
Healthy in every sense of the word.
But it's been a disappointment, okay? Isaac Paredes, 289 this year for Tampa, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs.
I mean, when you look at it, sure, you'd like to have him back.
Very lopsided.
Yeah.
Another poor trade.
Well, when you look at it now, sure.
Well, it's always,
at the time.
Well, we'll look at it now.
Look at it now, yeah, without question. I'm going to give a thumbs down to that, or a thumbs. How would I do it for a bad trade?
Bad.
Would I want Paredes back?
Nope.
Yeah,
thumbs down.
I want Paredes back. I give a thumbs up.
I get that. We ain't coming back. But
no.
But give me Paredes and Martinez in this lineup. I'm doing a little better. Right?
Yeah, with a young Green and a Torkelson.
And we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Oh, I'm loving it.
One of the trades that went under the radar, and I'm not sure everybody knows about this because he's been in the National League since his trade. He was traded back in 2014 to the Cincinnati Reds. Eugenio Suarez.
Say it again.
Eugenio. I'm saying that right, aren't I?
Sure. I don't have the list in front of me.
Eugenio Suarez traded to the Reds for essentially for Alfredo Simon. Okay, a pitcher. Yeah,
pitcher.
Right?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
for this year, Suarez is now in Seattle.
Yeah.
4 home runs, 21 RBIs, hitting .229. Not off the charts, but not bad. For his career, though, since he's been traded, 228 home runs, 655 RBIs, and hitting .249. I would take that bet in my lineup at third base and run.
Oh, sure.
Solid third baseman, good power, and they gave him away for Alfredo Simon.
And where is Mr. Alfredo Simon
now?
He's is he?
Cooking pasta somewhere. But what a horrible trade. Again, give me Suarez in this lineup. I'm winning more games.
Oh, sure.
So what do you think, Rob? Give me yours though. Your decision.
Oh yeah, I'd take him back within. Yeah.
Okay.
Considering that half of these trades, some of these quote unquote prospects, and my wife, who is a huge Detroit Tigers fan, an absolute Detroit Tigers fan, I'll tell you what, she is sick and tired of hearing trading players away and hearing the P word, Jim. And I'm talking about she hates that word.
Yep.
Absolutely despises it.
All right, let me J.D. Martinez, Justin Verlander, Isaac Paredes, Eugenio Suarez, all traded and the only thing they have left is Austin Meadows, who's still on the DL.
And Jake Rogers, right?
Jake Rogers.
Yeah, the catcher. Who's
All right.
hitting
One more I want to go to. One more. All
right.
Okay. Willie Adames, who is now with Milwaukee, shortstop, pretty good shortstop, again. This year, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs, hit bat 216. But in his 6 years in the pro, since he was traded back in 2014. Adames and Suarez were both traded in 2014.
Okay.
There could have been their short third combination for all these years. 101 home runs, 304 RBIs, batting 253 as a shortstop. He was traded to Tampa Bay. It was a complicated trade, multi-team trade, but essentially what they got for him was David Price. So they got David Price for Willie Adames, okay? Mm-hmm. And they also had to trade Austin Jackson. So, figure Austin Jackson and Willie Adames for David Price.
I mean, and David Price. Now let's take a look at that for a minute. I mean, if you remember, when was this? 2014?
14.
When did the Tigers really make that run and should have beat San Francisco?
That was 13.
13.
Yep.
Right?
They were trying to get back.
So they were trying to get back. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, would you want David Price back? Sure.
Well, I think if you got the David Price, you could choose, right? The guy you want to have, but they didn't get that guy, right?
Right.
During his time in Detroit, essentially Price was 18. Well, he was 18-5.
Yeah.
Well, no, excuse me. For Detroit, he was 4-4, 3.59 ERA through 77 innings. So he was okay. So do you give up for those stats? Do you give up Willie Adames and Austin Jackson?
Probably. I mean, if I'm just looking at those stats, probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Another trade on the downside.
I mean, who was a bigger disappointment? If you're was it Cecil Fielder's kid, or was it a David Price?
No, Cecil Fielder's. No, Prince Fielder was.
Prince Fielder.
He had 2 big years before he got hurt. They would not have won what they won without him. He had 2 big. So
all right.
David Price is by far a bigger disappointment than Prince Fielder.
Okay.
All
right.
Fair enough. Was that fun? Was that good? Was that a good feature?
Yeah. I had to you're racking my brain.
I made you work over there.
Made me work.
But again, all those guys traded for a lot of production.
So what are you saying? Big mistakes?
Oh, I without a doubt, I don't see one in here.
Let's hope this is, for Tigers fans out there, let's hope this is the last time we do this segment.
Yes, but again, there's not one here I wouldn't undo. I don't think. Even Castellanos, I'd have kept him.
Oh, no.
So, all right, when we come back, Rob, we're going to have a look at the week ahead. We're still going to have another
busy baseball week coming.
Our 3 up, 3 down before we get out of here.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and wrap up this week's edition of Baseball This Week here. Jim Stark along with Rob Bennett, and we're going to be right back here on the Spotlight Media Network.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
So, it's been a while since you've had your jewelry cleaned and inspected, right? Where will you go and who will you trust with your most valuable and treasured heirlooms? At Meadowar Jewelers' 4 locations in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage, jewelry isn't just our job, it's our passion. Each and every piece entrusted in our care is thoroughly inspected by our trained staff against damage or normal wear. And we offer you, our customer, the highest level of quality on repairs and custom designs. Whether it's worn out prongs, channels, or shanks, it's all handled with incredible care. Meadowar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage want to help you preserve your memories and offer you options on creating new ones. Come in today for the cleaning and inspection of your jewelry. We continue to work hard every day to earn your confidence and trust.
Time for a career change? Looking to make a difference? Dean Transportation is looking for compassionate people to join our dedicated team of school bus professionals. Dean Transportation has immediate openings and offers paid training to obtain a commercial driver's license. With increased starting pay, benefit packages, flexible scheduling with weekday hours, and more, Dean Transportation may be the career choice for you. No experience needed. Apply now and train all summer. Head to deanjobs.com.
April's full of adventure and winning at Firekeepers. It's the Get Out and Go RV giveaway on Saturdays, April 15th and 29th. 2 huge drawing days, $300,000 in prizes, including a fully loaded motor coach and more. The first big drawings are on Saturday, April 15th. You could win a pop-up camper, a deluxe travel trailer, or thousands in Red Hot credits to spin and win some more. On April 29th, you can win a share of $55,000 in Red Hot credits, a pop-up camper, a travel trailer, or the grand prize, a motor coach RV. It's the $300,000 Get Out and Go RV giveaway on Saturdays, April 15th and 29th. The best giveaways, the biggest guaranteed prizes, only at Firekeepers. Get your Vegas on at Firekeepers Casino Hotel, I-94 to exit 104 in Battle Creek. Management reserves all rights.
Take me out to the ball game, indeed, Rob Bennett. The Tigers lost today down at Comerica Park in the finale of their.
You got to take me out to dinner first, and then we'll go to the ball. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I'm gonna buy you a nice dog at the game. How's that? Dog and a beer.
Love you.
All right. So today they lost down at Comerica Park 8-0 to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yep.
We'll talk a little bit about what comes up next. But before we do that, though, Rob, before we go to your feature, I want to go over a 3 up, 3 down for this week.
Yeah, one of my favorite segments.
Okay, and I want to get your take on it.
Love to argue with you on this.
My 3 up, and these are in no particular order. I don't really order, just 3 up.
Yeah.
First off, Zach McKinstry.
Yeah, we talked about him a little earlier.
Yep. 275, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, but can play a lot of positions and play them well, and has been a real fit in this team.
Yep.
I like where he's going.
Yeah.
Secondly, Riley Green, who's been hot. Again, we talked 500 in the last week, over 500. For the season, 291, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs.
Yeah,
probably their MVP so far. At the quarter mark, would you say?
I don't know. Those relief pitchers that we talked about
earlier.
You're
right.
Might sneak up on that. But as far as an offensive player of the year, so far, no question. Riley.
Okay. My other on the 3 up this list this week, Mike Lorenzen, who is now 2-2 for the season, 3.44 ERA, but in the last week he was 1-0 with a nice shutout the other night. So I think he's on my 3 up this week because, and the thing about Lorenzen is every time he pitches well, he's one more step closer to being traded at the trading deadline, right?
Yeah, and this is the question that I'm going to throw out. Maybe we can talk about it next week. But when you look at Eduardo Rodriguez and overall these last 3 or 4 starts, not counting today, obviously.
I think it was 5 starts. Yeah.
We've mentioned this on the Drive with Jack when you've come on and been a guest on that show. But when or if do you trade him?
Yep. Well, I just mentioned in the off air, Rob, one of the great no trades when the Tigers were offered a pretty good deal for Michael Fulmer a few years ago.
Yeah.
And did you get I'm getting a blank on the last name for Houston. I'm going to come up with that.
Oh, the third baseman?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alex Bregman. Bregman.
Wow.
They could have had him for Michael Fulmer. Pretty bad no trade.
Wow.
All right.
That's pretty
now
amazing.
my 3 down. You agree with my 3 up? You're good with all 3?
I'm good with that. I can't argue with you yet.
My 3 down, and I'm holding true to my promise, Rob.
Yes.
Miguel Cabrera is not on this 3 down list.
Very good.
All right. First, Nick Matan, who continues. He's got decent production, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs, but down to 150 with the batting average. You cannot play Major League Baseball.
Well,
I know what you said earlier about the batting average not being.
I get you.
150 is too low.
Yeah.
Too low.
But he's still playing.
Well, that says more about the Tigers.
That says more about the depth.
All right. Next
Tigers.
on my list, Tyler Alexander, who started off pretty good this year, but now his ERA has ballooned to a 6.38.
Yeah.
And he blew today.
They're starting to figure him out.
Yeah, he blew today and gave a bunch. So he's on my list going down. And this last one, I struggled a little bit, but I'm going to go with this. Jake Rogers, who his batting average has dipped down to under 192. Again, you can't have an everyday player in Major League Baseball on a good team hitting under 200.
Yeah, I don't care how good of a defensive player pitcher is. You got to and look it. We're not looking for Mike Piazza, Carlton Fisk. We're not looking for Yogi Berra numbers offensively. But
yeah, 192.
But again,
and he's the last guy left from the Verlander trade. No thanks.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the week ahead of us, Rob.
Yeah, real quick. Get ready. I'm going to fly through this because I got a big list, Jim. The Detroit Tigers will be heading on a 6-game road trip starting on Friday, as we mentioned earlier, in Washington, 3 games against the Nationals. And then it's off to Kansas City for a 3-game set.
Finally.
Against the Royals.
Finally.
I feel like...
Give me the Royals, please.
I was going to say, we're 41 games in, and I feel like years past we've played 25 games against, the Royals already, but this will be the first series against the Royals.
And if you're looking to fatten up your stats, maybe the Nationals at 18 and 24.
I was going to say, this is a key 6-game road trip for them.
Maybe come back 5-1 from the road trip would be really nice.
Sure.
No worse than 4-2. How's that?
Sure. I'm with you. The Toledo Mud Hens, you brought them up earlier in your prospect report, continuing their 6-game series with Omaha through the weekend. And around these parts, the Lansing Lugnuts start a 4-game series starting on Thursday against the Lake County Captains before heading on the road for a 6-game series against the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. I don't know about you, Jim, but I love minor league baseball names. Best names in all the sports. Best names in all the sports. This winter,
I walked around the Tin Cap Stadium down in Fort Wayne.
Yeah?
Nice little ballpark right downtown. I'll tell you one thing. They play 6-game series too in that AAA high A. High A.
Yeah, single A. Yep.
So
a lot of 6-game series.
Yeah, because it makes travel easier.
Sure.
You come in, you stay for a week instead of back and forth. So
back and forth. Makes sense. All right, Michigan State baseball, I mentioned it earlier in the show, finishes up their regular season with a 3-game series against Indiana beginning on Thursday. And just a quick recap of Indiana, sitting atop the conference now with a 15-6 Big Ten record, tied with Maryland. Michigan State now staring down the barrel of a 10-11 conference record mark. Right now, if you're looking at it, if the season ended today, they would make the Big Ten tournament as an 8 seed. They would have the tiebreaker over Purdue. But, boy, they had a big win against Central Michigan on Tuesday. But this is back in conference. You want to end your conference record in a good way. So Indiana coming into Cobes Field. Michigan finishes their regular season with a 3-game series at Ohio State beginning on Thursday. Central Michigan and Western Michigan close out their regular seasons against each other. Big rivalry there, right? Maybe
sure.
One of the most underrated rivalries in all of college sports. They begin tomorrow as well. And Eastern Michigan closes out their regular season hosting Northern Illinois on a 3-game series beginning tomorrow as well.
Well, good luck to the Spartans.
There's your week ahead.
So they got to do well against Indiana, right? Depending again, if everything stays the same after that series, right?
And Purdue, Michigan State has the tiebreaker over Purdue, but a lot of things can still happen.
But I'm sure Jake Boss doesn't want. They don't want to crawl into the playoffs.
No, and Iowa and Illinois really showed them something. So it would be good to get back on the winning track in conference as we head to the Big Ten tournament in Omaha.
All right, Rob. Well, thanks again for this week. I thought we did a nice job. It was fun. We had a little different feature. I hope you liked it. Next week we'll get back to. We're probably going to have someone to come on and talk about the classic, the high school
that's
tournament.
Right. The Dean Shippey Diamond Capital Classic. Looking forward to that starting on Tuesday, and most certainly we'll break that all down next week as well. Looking forward to it.
Tigers are on the road, first to Nationals, and then the
two winnable
Royals.
series. 2 winnable series.
By the time we talk again, Rob, I want to be talking about a very successful week of maybe 4-2, even 5-1.
How about it?
All right.
Great way to end it, my friend.
For Boston Rob Bennett, I'm Jim Stark. We're bringing you each week Baseball This Week, heard right here on this time on Wednesdays live, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, right here on the Spotlight Media Network.